Tonight, we're embarking on a journey into a hidden kingdom that thrives all around us, yet it's so frequently overlooked. The fascinating world of mushrooms. Mushrooms occupy a unique space, not quite plant, not quite animal, but something altogether distinct, a realm unto themselves. They respire just as we do. They develop in utter silence. And they've been shaping the very essence of this planet for eons, predating even the existence of forests. Certain species possess an ethereal glow, illuminating the darkness like scattered lanterns in the night. Others stretch out vast and unseen beneath our feet, intricately weaving together the roots of trees in a silent, secret language. Still others boast colors so dazzling, so vibrant, they appear as if painted by a skilled artist's hand, while a select few harbor poisons so potent that a mere taste could spell the end of life. And yet mushrooms are also healers, builders, recyclers, and even dreamers. They hold the key to making bread rise. They possess the transformative power to turn grapes into wine. They can even cleanse our world of oil and plastic contamination, and they may even offer clues to how life could potentially take hold and survive on other planets. If you're enjoying these explorations into the wonders of science, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, or share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your engagement helps others discover this channel too, one curious mind at a time. But for now, let's dive in. It might surprise you to learn that mushrooms are, in fact, more closely related to animals than they are to plants. Despite their tranquil existence in forests and their habit of sprouting from the soil like flowers, these fascinating organisms share a deeper kinship with us than they do with trees. At the genetic level, fungi actually share a common ancestor with animals, not with the plant kingdom. Just like us, they breathe in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Their cell walls aren't composed of cellulose, as is the case with plants, but rather of chitin, the very same resilient material that forms the shells of insects and crustaceans. This peculiar relationship situates fungi on a hidden branch of the family tree that we rarely consider. When you wander through a forest, it may seem as though mushrooms belong alongside the leaves and the flowers, but the truth is, their closest companions are those creatures that walk, swim, and fly. Realizing that a mushroom is, in a sense, more akin to us than a blade of grass can forever alter the way you perceive the forest floor. Imagine traversing a forest at night, where tiny lanterns are scattered among the moss, with some mushrooms emitting their own natural light. Mushrooms glowing softly, perhaps with a green or blue hue, like fairy lights artfully woven into the earth. This phenomenon is called bioluminescence, the same kind of light produced by fireflies and certain creatures dwelling in the depths of the sea. There are more than 70 known mushroom species that possess the ability to shine in this way, including the aptly named foxfire fungi. Scientists hypothesize that this bioluminescence might serve to attract insects at night, thereby aiding the mushrooms in dispersing their spores over a wider area. Alternatively, it could simply act as a deterrent against being eaten. The glow itself stems from a chemical reaction involving an enzyme known as luciferase, the same type of reaction that gives fireflies their characteristic sparkle. Witnessing one of these luminous mushrooms in its natural habitat is like stepping into an ancient realm of magic, where living light emerges from decay, a testament to the fact that even as wood rots and breaks down, beauty can still radiate through the darkness. Hidden beneath the soil, there may be a vast living web that stretches for miles. Mushrooms are essentially the fruiting bodies, the visible tips of a much more expansive organism called mycelium. Mycelium is composed of delicate thread-like filaments that weave their way through the earth, intertwining with roots, stones, and even the remnants of fallen leaves. In certain locales, this network reaches an unimaginable scale. A single mycelial organism can extend across hills and valleys, forging connections between thousands of trees. Picture a net made of life, invisible yet undeniably alive, silently and diligently working beneath the forest floor. Through these interconnected networks, fungi recycle vital nutrients, transport water, and even facilitate the exchange of resources between plants. It's almost as if the earth itself possesses veins pulsing with these hidden threads. Simply walking across a patch of grass might mean unknowingly stepping upon a single massive creature, ancient, quiet, and ubiquitous. The largest living organism on Earth is in fact a mushroom. Deep within the Blue Mountains of Oregon resides something truly extraordinary. At first glance, it presents as an ordinary forest, complete with pine trees, streams, and meadows. However, concealed beneath the soil lies the largest known living organism on our planet, a single fungal network of Armillaria ostoyae, often referred to as the honey fungus. This colossal mycelium stretches across nearly 4 square miles and is estimated to be thousands of years old. Every mushroom you see popping up from the ground is merely a tiny, interconnected piece of this enormous creature. To provide some perspective, this single organism outweighs the largest blue whale many times over and has quietly existed for longer than the vast majority of human civilizations. When scientists first determined its true size, they realized that the forest they were traversing was not comprised of countless individual entities, but rather a single immense being, sprawling and ancient, thriving beneath their feet like the very pulse of the earth. Although mushrooms lack brains or nervous systems, they are capable of transmitting pulses of information through their intricate mycelial threads. These signals resemble minute electrical impulses, strikingly similar to the firing of neurons in animals. Some scientists have even observed that the patterns exhibited by these pulses bear a resemblance to words, with variations in frequency potentially conveying meaning. Through this system, fungi may be able to share vital information about potential dangers, available resources, or prevailing environmental conditions with other parts of their network. It's akin to an underground internet woven into the soil, transmitting signals in a language that we're only beginning to decipher. Imagine trees sending sugars to one another, with mushrooms acting as the couriers, diligently passing the message along. While it may not be thought in the same way humans understand it, it is nonetheless a form of communication. It is a reminder that intelligence can manifest in many forms, and that the Earth hums with conversations we're unable to hear. When scientists sought to determine what forms of life could endure beyond the confines of our planet, they included spores of fungi in their experiments. To their astonishment, certain species not only survived exposure to the vacuum of space, but also withstood intense radiation and freezing temperatures. These spores floated outside spacecraft for extended periods, shielded only by their own inherent toughness. Upon their return to Earth, many were still alive and capable of growth. This remarkable resilience makes fungi compelling candidates for astrobiology, the scientific study of life beyond Earth. If mushroom spores can survive the harsh conditions of the void, it raises the intriguing possibility that life could potentially travel between planets, hitching rides on meteorites or dust particles across the cosmos. This concept is known as panspermia, and fungi offer compelling evidence that such journeys may not be entirely impossible. Imagine the humble mushroom, so often overlooked in the forest, carrying the very spark of life across galaxies, patiently awaiting the opportunity to bloom again wherever it encounters suitable soil, water, and light. Following the Chernobyl disaster in 1986, scientists studying the ruined reactor were surprised to find something thriving amidst the devastation: fungi. Certain species, including Cryptococcus neoformans, not only survived within the radioactive wreckage, but appeared to actively grow toward the radiation itself. These fungi contain melanin, the same pigment found in human skin, which may enable them to convert radiation into chemical energy, almost like a form of photosynthesis that utilizes radiation instead of light. It's as if these mushrooms are consuming radiation, transforming what we perceive as deadly into fuel for their own growth. This discovery holds tremendous implications for the future. One day, fungi could potentially be used to help clean up nuclear waste or to protect astronauts from cosmic radiation during deep space missions. In the darkest, most perilous places on Earth, mushrooms have found a way not only to survive, but perhaps even to thrive. One of the most encouraging discoveries in recent years is the realization that some fungi function as natural recyclers on a grand scale. Certain species are capable of breaking down materials that typically persist for centuries, such as plastic and petroleum. In 2011, researchers identified a fungus in the Amazon rainforest that could consume polyurethane, one of the most durable plastics in use. Other fungi have been shown to digest oil spills, transforming toxic waste into harmless substances. Imagine landfills shrinking, not through the efforts of human-engineered machines, but by the quiet, relentless activity of fungal colonies feasting away. Scientists are now actively exploring how these remarkable mushrooms can assist us in tackling pollution. Perhaps one day we'll design fungal biofactories that can efficiently devour plastic waste. In a world overwhelmed by the sheer volume of what we discard, fungi remind us that nature often holds the very tools necessary to heal itself, if only we are wise enough to listen and learn from them. Among the many wonders of the fungal kingdom, there also exists danger. Certain species contain toxins so potent that even a small taste can prove fatal. The death cap mushroom, Amanita phalloides, stands out as one of the deadliest. Its toxins silently wreak havoc on the liver and kidneys, and symptoms may not manifest until it's too late. What makes it even more unsettling is its unassuming appearance, a pale, greenish mushroom that could easily be mistaken for something edible. Throughout history, deadly mushrooms have claimed the lives of kings, peasants, and entire families who were unaware of the risks. The line between sustenance and poison within the fungal kingdom is often razor-thin and imperceptible. Yet, it is within this very danger that fascination resides. The fact that a fragile-looking mushroom can contain enough chemical complexity to unravel a human life serves as a reminder that nature, however beautiful, must always be treated with respect. Not all mushrooms present a threat, some bring sheer delight. Certain species possess flavors so remarkable that they mimic the taste of meat or seafood almost perfectly. The lobster mushroom, for example, exhibits a vibrant reddish-orange hue and a taste reminiscent of the sweetness of shellfish. Chicken of the woods, with its layered fan-like structure, tears apart into chunks that closely resemble chicken breast in both texture and taste. For centuries, foragers have prized these mushrooms as natural alternatives to meat, long before plant-based diets gained widespread popularity. To take a bite of one is to experience the incredible versatility of fungi. How something growing silently from the bark of a tree can evoke the flavors of a feast from the sea or the farm. It's as if mushrooms are flavor shifters, borrowing tastes from the animal world while remaining firmly rooted in their own mysterious kingdom. For thousands of years, mushrooms have held a prominent place, not only in kitchens, but also in temples and sacred ceremonies. Ancient cultures perceived something mystical in the way mushrooms seemed to materialize overnight, almost as if summoned from thin air. In Siberia, shamans employed the red and white Amanita muscaria, the iconic fairy tale mushroom, in rituals to enter trance states. In Mesoamerica, the Aztecs referred to sacred mushrooms as Tionanacatl, meaning the flesh of the gods, and used them in ceremonies to connect with the divine. Even cave paintings in Spain, believed to be over 6,000 years old, depict figures holding mushrooms. These fungi were more than just food. They served as gateways to altered states of consciousness, visions, and spiritual journeys. To our ancestors, mushrooms likely seemed like messages from another world, mysteriously sprouting from the earth to remind humans of the delicate veil that separates the everyday from the extraordinary. One of the most unsettling and fascinating phenomena in nature is orchestrated by fungi known as cordyceps. These mushrooms don't simply grow quietly in the soil, they infect insects, effectively seizing control of their behavior. A spore lands on an ant, and soon the fungus begins to proliferate within its body. Eventually, it manipulates the ant's very mind, compelling it to climb up a stem or tree to the ideal height for spore dispersal. There, the ant clings motionless, as if frozen in place. Then the fungus bursts through its body, sprouting a strange stalk that releases spores to infect other unsuspecting ants below. This gruesome cycle has earned cordyceps the rather chilling nickname zombie fungus. While unsettling, it serves as a reminder of the ingenious, albeit unsettling, strategies that fungi have evolved to ensure their survival. The forest floor conceals entire dramas, where even insects can become unwitting puppets in the mushroom's silent play. In the late 20th century, biologists began to observe the disappearance of frogs, salamanders, and toads across the globe. The culprit turned out to be a fungus called Batrachochytrium dendrobatidis, or BD for short. This fungus infects the skin of amphibians, impairing their ability to breathe and regulate water balance. Because amphibians absorb a significant portion of their oxygen and moisture through their skin, the infection is often fatal. Entire populations vanished seemingly overnight, and the fungus has been labeled as one of the most devastating pathogens in recorded history. The fact that something so minute, virtually invisible to the naked eye, could reshape entire ecosystems underscores the hidden power of fungi. Even now, conservationists are racing against time to protect vulnerable species, developing antifungal treatments and implementing breeding programs. The story of beads serves as a sobering reminder that fungi are not solely helpers and recyclers. They can also be destroyers, fundamentally altering the course of life on Earth. Every breath you take carries with it tiny pieces of the fungal kingdom. Mushroom spores, the microscopic seeds of fungi, are so abundant that billions swirl invisibly through the air surrounding us at any given moment. They drift through cities, forests, and oceans, carried by raindrops or borne aloft for miles on the wind. Scientists estimate that each cubic meter of outdoor air can contain thousands of spores. You inhale them without even realizing it, yet your body is well adapted to this hidden realm of life. In fact, spores are among the most common biological particles in Earth's atmosphere. They are so small and lightweight that they can even ride currents up into the clouds. In a sense, every breath connects you to distant forests and fungi, linking your lungs to ecosystems you may never personally encounter. You are always breathing in the silent presence of mushrooms. Unlike seeds, which tend to be heavy and bound to the soil, spores are specifically designed for travel. Many are so incredibly small and lightweight that they can remain airborne for astonishingly long periods. Some have been detected more than 20 miles above Earth's surface, floating in the stratosphere. There they can hitch rides on high-altitude winds, drifting across oceans and continents. Spores are equipped with protective coatings that shield them from ultraviolet light, dryness, and even radiation, enabling them to survive such arduous journeys. This ability to travel vast distances renders fungi among the most successful colonizers in the natural world. Imagine a single spore released from a puffball mushroom in a meadow, rising into the sky, and months later settling into the soil on the other side of the planet. Spores transform the very atmosphere into a highway for life, invisible yet relentless, connecting ecosystems across the globe. In experiments where spores were exposed to the vacuum and radiation of outer space, many proved capable of withstanding conditions that would instantly kill most other organisms. Enclosed within their durable protective coats, spores survived not just for hours, but sometimes for weeks, floating outside spacecraft or attached to satellites. This resilience has fueled the concept of panspermia, that life may spread between planets via spores or microbes carried on meteorites or dust. If fungal spores can endure such journeys, it suggests that life may be more portable than we once believed, perhaps traversing the solar system or even the galaxy. When you witness a mushroom releasing a cloud of spores, you are observing a survival strategy so effective that it may even extend beyond Earth itself. They are tiny explorers, hardy enough to endure the void, patiently awaiting a new world to call home. While we often perceive stone as eternal, even rocks are susceptible to the gradual persistence of fungi. Certain species of lichen, a symbiotic partnership between fungi and algae, secrete acids that can break down minerals, slowly transforming stone into soil. Over centuries, this process transforms mountains, cliffs, and boulders into fertile ground where plants can flourish. Without fungi and lichens, the world might remain locked in barren rock, unable to support the lush forests and grasslands that we know. In a sense, fungi are Earth's earliest gardeners, paving the way for all the green life that followed. Even today, on old tombstones or ancient ruins, you may notice small fungal patches slowly etching patterns into the stone. With patience measured in centuries rather than days, fungi quietly reshape the solid bones of the world, proving that nothing lies beyond the reach of their persistence. Wandering through a grassy field after a rain, you might encounter a circle of mushrooms, perfectly round, as if left behind by dancing fairies. These are known as fairy rings, and they form as a single fungus spreads outward in all directions underground. The mushrooms you see are simply the tips of the advancing edge of the mycelium. Over time, the circle widens, sometimes growing larger each year. In folklore, fairy rings were often considered magical places, gateways to another realm, or traces of nocturnal dances by unseen beings. Scientists now understand that these rings are simply the natural growth pattern of fungi, but the sense of wonder persists. To witness a fairy ring is to see geometry come alive in the grass, a living circle drawn by threads you cannot see, connecting the ordinary meadow with something timeless, secret, and enchanting. There is something truly remarkable about the sudden appearance of mushrooms. One day the ground seems bare, and the next morning it's dotted with new life. Mushrooms can grow incredibly quickly, sometimes pushing up through the soil or leaf litter in just a matter of hours. Their rapid growth is fueled by the hidden mycelium, which stores energy until conditions are just right. Rainfall softens the ground and provides the necessary moisture. Then, the mushroom surges upward, unfolding like a time-lapse miracle. This sudden emergence has imbued mushrooms with a mystical reputation in folklore, as if they are conjured by spirits or magic. In reality, it's biology at its most efficient, years of invisible preparation culminating in one spectacular emergence. The next time you see mushrooms after a storm, remember that they were already there, patiently awaiting the signal to rise into the light. Long before the advent of synthetic dyes, people discovered that mushrooms could impart color to fabrics with surprising brilliance. Different species can produce shades of gold, green, purple, red, and even deep blues. Some dyers still forage for mushrooms like Phelinus, known as the dyer's polypore, which can yield rich yellow and orange tones. Others turn to lichens for delicate pinks and purples. Each mushroom species contains unique compounds that, when boiled with wool or silk, release pigments that bind to the fibers. These dyes are natural, renewable, and often create colors that shift subtly in the light. Wearing mushroom-dyed clothing once meant carrying a piece of the forest with you, its hues woven into the fabric. Even today, artisans are reviving this tradition, celebrating fungi not only as food or medicine, but as artists of color, painting the world with palettes hidden in the soil. Fungi are often perceived as quiet decomposers, breaking down wood and leaf litter, but some are actually hunters. Certain soil-dwelling fungi have evolved mechanisms to trap and consume nematodes, tiny, thread-like worms that wriggle unseen through the dirt. These fungi construct microscopic snares, sticky nets that capture passing worms, or even elegant lasso-shaped rings that tighten like nooses when touched. Once captured, the fungus pierces the nematode and extracts its nutrients, fueling its own growth. The idea of a mushroom acting as a predator, weaving invisible traps in the soil, transforms our perception of them. They are not merely passive beings, but cunning survivors, capable of hunting without the need for eyes or movement. Beneath your feet, there may be entire battlefields of fungi and worms, unseen but constant, with each victory contributing to the slow, patient expansion of the fungal kingdom. While mushrooms may appear delicate, their structural architecture can be remarkably strong. The fine threads of mycelium weave into a dense interlocking network that rivals some of the toughest materials known. In fact, tests have shown that certain mycelium composites can exhibit greater strength than steel when compared by weight. This combination of strength, lightness, and biodegradability has made fungi a focal point of material science. Designers are currently experimenting with mushroom-based building materials, crafting bricks, insulation, and even furniture that are durable, fire-resistant, and fully compostable when no longer needed. It's truly remarkable that what appears to be a fragile toadstool in the forest can inspire structures robust enough to support homes. Mushrooms remind us that resilience is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's woven silently, fiber by fiber, into networks that are unassuming in appearance but extraordinary in strength. Long before trees stretched toward the sky or flowers unfurled their petals, fungi had already made their way onto the shores of ancient Earth. Fossil evidence indicates that fungi colonized land over 1 billion years ago, playing a crucial role in breaking down rock into soil. In doing so, they paved the way for plants to follow. Some scientists theorize that enormous fungal towers once dotted the landscape hundreds of millions of years ago, standing over 20 feet tall. These enigmatic organisms, known as proto-taxites, may have been the tallest living things of their time. Imagine a barren alien landscape where giant fungal spires towered above the ground long before the existence of forests or grasslands. Without the pioneering efforts of fungi, the Earth as we know it, fertile, green, and teeming with plant life, might never have come to be. They were the quiet pioneers of land life, shaping the world with patience and persistence. When most people envision mushrooms, they picture caps large enough to pick, cook, or photograph in a forest setting. However, in the hidden micro-world, some mushrooms are so incredibly tiny that they can easily balance on the head of a pin. These miniature fungi sprout like specks of dust on decaying leaves or fallen twigs, often visible only with the aid of a magnifying glass. Despite their minuscule size, they perform the same essential functions as their larger counterparts, breaking down organic matter and releasing spores. Many of these micro-mushrooms create delicate, almost crystalline structures, with caps no larger than grains of sugar. The thought that such fragile, fleeting life forms exist all around us, unseen, is a humbling one. The forest is not just filled with towering trees and large mushrooms, but also with tiny realms of life thriving in spaces too small for our unaided eyes to perceive. At the opposite end of the spectrum, some mushrooms grow to astonishing sizes. The giant puffball mushroom, for instance, can swell to the size of a beach ball, with some specimens weighing over 20 pounds. When mature, a single puffball can release trillions of spores in a smoky cloud that drifts on the wind. In tropical forests, the massive bracket fungi cling to tree trunks like shelves, with some growing wide enough to serve as natural seats. In folklore, these giant mushrooms inspired awe, as they seemed less like plants and more like creatures of myth. To stand before one of these enormous fungi is to be reminded that mushrooms are not always small or fleeting. They can be monumental, sprawling and enduring, their size rivaling that of the creatures that walk among them. The fungal kingdom encompasses extremes, ranging from the nearly invisible to the astonishingly vast. Truffles, those highly prized underground mushrooms, emit an aroma so intense that it can drive animals wild. Truffles captivate both humans and animals alike. Their scent contains compounds remarkably similar to pheromones, the very chemical signals many creatures utilize for communication purposes. For pigs especially, the aroma of truffles can be utterly irresistible, an olfactory siren song they simply cannot ignore. So irresistible, in fact, that farmers once relied heavily on pigs to sniff them out, using their keen noses to locate these buried treasures. Dogs are now generally preferred for this task, primarily because they can detect the alluring scent without immediately devouring the precious find. Humans, too, are deeply enchanted by truffles, finding themselves drawn in by their unique and compelling qualities. Truffles are, without a doubt, among the most expensive foods in the world, fetching exorbitant prices in markets and restaurants. They are so highly valued for their musky, earthy, and altogether intoxicating aroma, a scent that tantalizes the senses and elevates dishes to new heights. This captivating scent wafts through the soil, subtly drawing animals to dig them up, unknowingly aiding in the vital process of spreading the spores. This curious and somewhat sneaky strategy has allowed truffles to flourish underground, in a protected environment where they cannot simply release their spores into the open air. Instead, they cleverly rely on a powerful lure, a unique perfume so compelling that it drives entire species to seek them out, ensuring their survival and propagation. Mushrooms play a crucial role in helping trees communicate with each other. Deep within the heart of the forest, trees are not silent or isolated entities. They actively engage in a complex network of trade, exchanging essential sugars, water, and even critical warning signals with one another. And fungi, in their remarkable way, make this intricate communication possible. Mycorrhizal fungi form symbiotic partnerships with the roots of trees, effectively extending their vast mycelial networks deep into the surrounding soil. Through these extraordinary connections, trees gain the ability to share vital resources, fostering a sense of community and mutual support. For instance, a shaded tree struggling to capture sunlight may receive a much-needed boost of extra sugars from its sun-drenched neighbors, the life-giving nutrients passed along through the intricate network of fungal threads. Furthermore, if pests or disease threaten a particular tree, critical chemical signals can rapidly spread underground, alerting other trees to prepare their defenses and protect themselves from harm. This hidden conversation, a silent exchange of information and resources, is often referred to as the wood wide web, a testament to its vastness and interconnectedness. Without the crucial role played by fungi, forests would be far less cooperative, and many young trees would face insurmountable challenges in their early years, significantly impacting their ability to survive and thrive. So, the next time you find yourself walking through a forest, take a moment to imagine the intricate network of roots beneath you, not as separate and isolated systems, but as integral parts of a great, interconnected mind, a quiet and efficient network where mushrooms act as the vital translators between these silent giants. The wood wide web serves to connect entire forests, creating a vast and interconnected ecosystem. The intriguing idea of the wood wide web has truly captured the imagination of scientists and storytellers alike, inspiring countless studies and artistic interpretations. It's not simply individual trees that connect through the remarkable agency of fungi, but entire forests, encompassing vast areas and countless species. A single, extensive mycelial network may link dozens or even hundreds of trees together, effectively binding them into a single, interdependent community. Old established mother trees can actively feed their seedlings through this remarkable web, providing vital nourishment and nurturing the next generation, ensuring the forest's continued vitality. Dying trees can even pass on their remaining resources, contributing their final energy to the network, leaving behind a unique kind of legacy that benefits the entire community. This intricate underground web allows a forest to act less like a mere collection of individual entities and more like a single cohesive organism, responsive, alive, and deeply interconnected. What we see above ground, the trunks, branches, and leaves that make up the visible forest, represents only half of the story, the part readily apparent to our senses. Below, in the dark, fertile soil, the fungal kingdom is diligently weaving a web as complex and sophisticated as the intricate neural networks in our own brains, sustaining the hidden unity of the entire forest ecosystem. Mushrooms can quietly store carbon underground for centuries, playing a vital role in regulating the Earth's climate. One of the quietest, yet undeniably most important roles that fungi play is in the critical process of carbon storage. Through their mutually beneficial partnerships with plants, fungi help facilitate the movement of carbon from the atmosphere into the soil, effectively locking it away in vast underground networks of mycelium. Some of this stored carbon can remain buried for centuries, safely sequestered away from the atmosphere and preventing its contribution to global warming. In this crucial way, fungi act as invaluable allies in stabilizing Earth's delicate climate, preventing excess carbon dioxide from accelerating the rate of planetary heating. Forests owe much of their important role as significant carbon sinks to the intricate fungal webs that maintain nutrient flow and ensure efficient carbon storage. Even when fungi decompose organic matter, they carefully regulate the rate at which carbon is released back into the atmosphere, minimizing the impact on climate change. In a time when climate change dominates human concern and shapes global policy, the humble mushroom may well prove to be one of Earth's most effective and unsung guardians, quietly working beneath the soil to maintain balance in the global carbon cycle. Some mushrooms exhibit the peculiar habit of growing exclusively on animal dung. As strange and perhaps unappealing as it may sound, certain species of mushrooms thrive in places that most of us would instinctively avoid: the dung of various animals. Species such as Coprinopsis, often referred to as inky caps, sprout directly from manure, drawing sustenance from this unlikely source. This might seem repulsive to human sensibilities, but it's actually an ingenious and highly effective survival strategy. Dung is remarkably rich in nutrients that have already been partially broken down by the animal's digestive system, making them readily accessible to fungal organisms. Fungi are perfectly equipped to recycle what remains, efficiently extracting the last vestiges of nutrients from the waste. In doing so, they complete a crucial cycle of life, transforming waste into fertile soil once again, providing the building blocks for new growth. Some of these remarkable mushrooms even launch their spores with an incredible burst of force, shooting them far enough to escape the shadow of the dung pile and land on fresh grass where grazing animals may consume them, unknowingly starting the cycle anew. What appears unpleasant or even disgusting to us is, in fact, a world of opportunity for fungi. In their unique and highly adaptable world, nothing is truly wasted, not even the most unlikely and seemingly unusable materials of life. Other types of mushrooms appear only after a forest fire has swept through the landscape. Some species of mushrooms wait patiently, almost serenely, for destruction to clear the way, before making their grand entrance onto the scene. These resilient fungi are known as pyrophilic fungi, which literally translates to lovers of fire. They remain hidden deep within the soil, dormant and unassuming, until flames sweep through a forest, clearing away dense vegetation and leaving behind a layer of nutrient-rich ash. Then, almost magically and seemingly overnight, mushrooms like the highly prized morel begin to sprout in great numbers, carpeting the burned landscape with their unique forms. Fire fundamentally alters the chemistry of the soil, creating specific conditions that these remarkable fungi require in order to thrive and propagate. Foragers who venture into burned forests can often discover veritable treasure troves of morels, highly sought after for their distinctive honeycombed caps and rich, earthy flavor. But beyond their fascination for humans and their value as a culinary delicacy, these fire-following fungi play a vital and essential ecological role. They rapidly recycle nutrients, efficiently preparing the ground for new growth and helping the forest ecosystem recover from the devastating effects of fire. Where flames have consumed and seemingly destroyed everything, mushrooms rise from the ashes, transforming profound loss into the very beginning of ecological renewal. In their quiet and understated way, they are the first responders of the forest, turning destruction into fertile ground for the rebirth of life. There are certain mushrooms that possess a delightful aroma, almost exactly like maple syrup. Not all mushroom scents are unpleasant or off-putting. In fact, some release fragrances that are so delightful and appealing that they seem almost specifically designed for human appreciation. The candy cap mushroom, for instance, carries a scent almost identical to that of rich and delicious maple syrup, an olfactory experience that is sure to delight. When dried, the aroma of these mushrooms intensifies, filling entire rooms with the sweet and comforting smell of pancakes and warm sugar. Chefs often use these unique mushrooms to flavor a variety of desserts, including cookies, cakes, and ice creams, transforming a seemingly ordinary forest find into an ingredient of culinary magic. The distinctive maple syrup scent comes from a group of aromatic compounds called lactones, which cleverly trick our senses into associating the mushroom with the sweet and familiar taste of maple syrup. To stumble upon one of these mushrooms in the wild is like discovering a secret kitchen hidden beneath the sheltering trees, a testament to nature's unexpected artistry. It's a gentle reminder that fungi are true masters of chemistry, capable of crafting a wide range of scents that can repel, attract, or simply astonish and delight. From the foul stench of rot to the sweet perfume of maple syrup, mushrooms play an invisible symphony of smells, each note carefully written in complex molecules that we are only beginning to understand and appreciate. Some mushrooms smell like coconut or almonds, offering a surprising sensory experience. As diverse and varied as flowers in their scents, mushrooms can surprisingly smell like a range of familiar foods, offering a unique and unexpected sensory experience. Certain species of mushrooms carry subtle aromas of coconut, almonds, or even marzipan, evoking images of tropical beaches and sweet confections. The almond-scented agaricus, for instance, has a fragrance so remarkably close to the nut that some mushroom foragers rely heavily on it as a key identification marker, helping them to distinguish it from other potentially less palatable species. Coconut-scented russulas, meanwhile, seem to echo the sweetness and warmth of the tropics, despite the fact that they typically sprout from the forest floors of temperate regions. These intriguing scents are created by volatile chemical compounds that naturally waft into the air, potentially attracting certain types of animals or simply deterring others, playing a role in the mushroom's survival. For humans, these unusual aromas become delightful curiosities, providing compelling proof that fungi engage with complex chemistry in ways that surprisingly overlap with our kitchens and our fondest culinary memories. To lean close to a mushroom and catch the scent of dessert or fruit is to feel, just for a brief moment, as though the forest itself is dreaming of flavors, weaving familiar comforts into its strange and often secret growths. Mushrooms are packed with vitamin D, an essential nutrient for human health. Few foods naturally contain significant amounts of vitamin D, making it a particularly valuable nutrient to obtain from dietary sources. Yet mushrooms possess a remarkable secret. They have the ability to make their own vitamin D when exposed to sunlight. Much like humans, mushrooms produce vitamin D when ultraviolet light touches their skin, triggering a chemical process that converts certain compounds within into this essential nutrient. For humans, vitamin D plays a vital role in strengthening bones, supporting the immune system and balancing mood, contributing to overall health and well-being. A handful of sun-dried mushrooms can contain as much vitamin D as a typical over-the-counter supplement, making them an excellent source of this critical nutrient. Some cultures even traditionally place freshly harvested mushrooms in the sun before eating them, deliberately boosting their nutritional power and reaping the benefits of this natural process. It's astonishing to think that mushrooms and humans share this fundamental ability, both relying on the same fundamental chemistry of light to produce this essential compound. In the gloom of the forest, mushrooms may seem far removed from the life-giving rays of the sun, but when touched by its light, they effectively store its energy, becoming not only a source of food, but also a vital bridge between light soil and life. Certain mushrooms contain natural toxins that have the unique ability to glow in the dark. In some species of fungi, poison and beauty are inextricably intertwined, creating a unique combination of danger and visual allure. There are species whose toxins not only protect them from being consumed by predators, but also grant them the remarkable power to glow with an eerie bioluminescence. These bioluminescent mushrooms emit a soft green or blue light, created by complex chemical reactions involving compounds known as luciferin and luciferase. Scientists believe that the glow may serve a variety of purposes, including deterring potential predators, luring insects to aid in spore dispersal, or even signaling to other organisms in the surrounding environment. This eerie and captivating shine is most easily visible at night, when entire patches of forest floor seem to shimmer with a faint, otherworldly glow. To stumble upon such a sight is both enchanting and unsettling, a reminder of the hidden wonders of the natural world. Mushrooms that are potentially dangerous to touch, yet luminous as if lit from within by some mysterious force. In folklore, glowing fungi were often taken as signs of forest spirits or as ominous portents, their ghostly light hinting at the presence of the supernatural and the hidden realms that lie beyond human comprehension. Modern science is gradually revealing the underlying chemistry that makes this bioluminescence possible, but the sense of wonder and mystery undeniably remains, a testament to the remarkable ability of life to transform defense into radiance. The death cap mushroom is one of the deadliest fungi on Earth, and tragically there is currently no known antidote for its poison. Among the most feared and reviled fungi on Earth is the death cap mushroom, scientifically known as Amanita phalloides. It looks deceptively ordinary, possessing a pale green cap and a white stalk, features that could easily lead an inexperienced forager to mistake it for an edible species. But hidden within this seemingly innocuous exterior lies a potent toxin called amatoxin, one of the deadliest naturally occurring substances known to humankind. Just half of a single cap can contain enough amatoxin to kill an adult human, making it an incredibly dangerous species to encounter. Worse still, the symptoms of death cap poisoning may not appear for several hours after ingestion, lulling victims into a false sense of security before the irreversible damage to the liver and kidneys begins. Tragically, there is currently no known antidote for amatoxin poisoning. Hospitals can provide supportive care and, in some cases, even perform liver transplants, but the survival rate remains uncertain, and the long-term consequences can be severe. This single species of mushroom has been responsible for countless accidental deaths throughout human history, a grim reminder of the potential dangers lurking in the natural world. The fact that such deadly power can be hidden within such a fragile and unassuming form serves as a chilling reminder of nature's indifference, highlighting the reality that beauty and terror can often coexist side by side in the forest. Mushrooms, which so often act as healers and recyclers, can sometimes harbor within them a lethal secret, written in the complex language of organic chemistry. A mushroom once played a pivotal role in saving the world from a devastating cholera outbreak. In the 19th century, cholera was a terrifying disease, rapidly sweeping through Europe, Asia, and beyond, causing widespread panic and devastation. People were desperate for cures, and one unlikely hero emerged from the unlikeliest of places, the fungal kingdom. A fungus called Penicillium chrysogenum, related to the very same species that later gave us penicillin, was found to effectively stop the cholera bacterium in its tracks, inhibiting its growth and preventing it from spreading. The full implications of this groundbreaking discovery weren't fully understood at the time, but it offered early evidence of the incredible medicinal powers that fungi possess. Later, the broader discovery of antibiotics confirmed what this unassuming mushroom had hinted at all along: that fungi carry within them complex chemical compounds that can fundamentally change the course of human history. Imagine entire cities trembling under the weight of fear, gripped by the unrelenting threat of a deadly disease, only to find relief in the unassuming growth of a seemingly insignificant mold. That moment was a quiet foreshadowing of the antibiotic revolution that was to come, a powerful demonstration that mushrooms and their relatives can stand between humanity and its most dangerous foes. Fungi possess a remarkable ability to remember past environmental conditions. It may sound strange or even fantastical, but fungi have been shown to remember past experiences and to adapt their behavior accordingly. In laboratory experiments, researchers noticed that fungal networks exposed to certain environmental changes, such as shifts in temperature, moisture levels, or nutrient availability, would respond differently when those same conditions returned at a later time. The mycelium seemed to have learned from its past, adjusting its response more quickly and efficiently the second time around. This memory is not akin to human thought or conscious recollection, but it is nonetheless a form of biological recall encoded within the structure and chemistry of the fungal threads. This remarkable adaptability may explain why fungi are among the most resilient and widespread life forms on Earth, able to thrive in a wide range of challenging environments. They respond to patterns, they remember past conditions, and they adapt their behavior accordingly. To walk through a forest is to walk through a landscape that is alive, not only with growth and decay, but also with memory, a vast network of fungal threads, recalling past storms, droughts, and fires, silently adjusting to ensure the continued survival of the entire ecosystem. It's as if the soil itself remembers, carrying within it the weight of past events, etched in the hidden threads beneath our feet. Some mushrooms can survive being frozen completely solid, demonstrating incredible resilience. In the depths of winter, when the ground is locked in ice and snow blankets the landscape, you might naturally assume that mushrooms would vanish entirely, unable to withstand the harsh conditions. Yet certain species of mushrooms are astonishingly resistant to the cold, demonstrating a remarkable degree of resilience. Some can freeze completely solid, their water content transformed into ice crystals, and still revive once conditions improve, springing back to life as if nothing had happened. Others continue to fruit even beneath a thick blanket of snow, pushing their small caps through the frozen crust as if completely untouched by the harshness of the season. Their extraordinary resilience lies in the presence of anti-freeze-like compounds that protect their cells from damage caused by freezing, allowing them to survive even in the most extreme conditions. For creatures that often seem so fragile and delicate, this toughness is truly extraordinary, enabling them to colonize environments as harsh as Arctic tundras and high-altitude alpine peaks. To stumble upon a mushroom sprouting through the snow is to witness defiance in its purest form, a testament to the power of life to endure even in the most challenging circumstances. They serve as a powerful reminder that even in the coldest, bleakest places, hidden kingdoms continue their slow and steady work of survival, undeterred by the severity of the environment. Mushrooms have been used in traditional medicine for millennia, playing a key role in healing practices across the globe. Across countless cultures and throughout the span of human history, mushrooms have been revered as powerful healers, playing a central role in traditional medicine practices. In traditional Chinese medicine, reishi mushrooms are often referred to as the mushroom of immortality, believed to enhance longevity, promote vitality, and strengthen the body's natural defenses. In Japan, shiitake mushrooms were historically reserved for nobility, regarded as a potent tonic for overall health and well-being. Indigenous peoples in Siberia, North America, and Africa all developed their own unique mushroom-based medicines, ranging from medicinal teas to poultices, utilizing these fungi to treat a wide range of ailments, including wounds, fevers, and fatigue. Modern science is now gradually catching up with these ancient traditions, identifying complex compounds within mushrooms that exhibit immune-boosting, anti-inflammatory, and even anti-cancer properties. What ancient healers sensed through observation and experience, laboratories are now confirming with sophisticated microscopes and detailed assays. When you sip a mushroom tea or hear about medicinal mushroom extracts, you're becoming part of a lineage that stretches back thousands of years, a testament to the deep and enduring bond between humans and fungi, a relationship woven from both necessity and deep-seated reverence. Lion's mane mushroom has shown the ability to regrow nerve cells in animal studies, offering hope for neurological disorders. The lion's mane mushroom, with its distinctive cascading icicle-like spines, is not only visually striking, but also remarkably potent in its medicinal properties. Studies conducted on animals have convincingly demonstrated that certain compounds found within lion's mane can effectively stimulate the growth of nerve cells, a discovery that could have profound implications for the treatment of neurological disorders. These compounds, known as hericenones and erinacines, encourage the production of nerve growth factor, NGF, a crucial molecule responsible for repairing and maintaining neurons, the fundamental building blocks of the nervous system. This groundbreaking discovery has sparked intense interest in lion's mane as a potential therapeutic agent for neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, offering a glimmer of hope for individuals suffering from these debilitating conditions. For centuries, lion's mane has been used in traditional Asian medicine as a brain tonic, believed to enhance cognitive function and promote mental clarity. Now, modern science is finally beginning to uncover the scientific basis for these traditional uses, providing compelling evidence that this remarkable mushroom can indeed support brain health. Imagine a mushroom, soft and white, like a frozen waterfall, carrying within it the potential to heal the most intricate networks of the human mind. It serves as a powerful reminder that the solutions to our most pressing medical challenges may still be hiding in the quiet corners of the forest, waiting patiently to be discovered. Some mushrooms release their spores in a dramatic puff of smoke, a unique and captivating dispersal method. Puffball mushrooms possess a special kind of magic, an ability to surprise and delight with their unusual reproductive strategy. When mature, their spherical bodies fill with millions of microscopic spores, patiently waiting for the opportune moment to disperse and spread their progeny. A simple raindrop, the brush of a passing paw, or even the curious touch of a human hand can trigger the release, sending a smoky burst of spores into the surrounding air, creating a small cloud of potential new life. What appears to be smoke is actually a shimmering cloud of countless spores, each a tiny capsule of possibility, drifting into the wind and carried away to new locations. For children and mushroom foragers alike, puffballs often become a source of immense delight, offering a living fireworks display in miniature, a testament to the wonders of nature. But beyond the simple wonder and amusement, this spore dispersal strategy is deeply effective, ensuring the continuation of the species. In a single puff, trillions of spores may be carried away, vastly increasing the chances of successful reproduction. To witness a puffball erupt in a cloud of spores is to witness life's persistence in action, cleverly disguised as a fleeting trick of smoke on the forest floor. Fungi help to decompose every fallen leaf in a forest, playing a vital role in nutrient cycling. When autumn arrives and carpets the forest floor with a colorful tapestry of fallen leaves, fungi begin their patient and essential work. Without their tireless efforts, the forest would quickly choke beneath layers upon layers of accumulating debris, stifling new growth and disrupting the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Fungi secrete powerful enzymes that effectively break down cellulose and lignin, the tough and complex materials that give wood and leaves their rigid structure. What may appear to be slow and gradual decay is actually an elegant and highly efficient recycling system, meticulously orchestrated by these remarkable organisms. The valuable nutrients locked within the fallen leaves are released back into the soil, ready to nourish new growth in the spring, providing the essential building blocks for the next generation of plants. Every flower that blooms, every blade of grass that rises from the earth owes its life in part to this fundamental process. Fungi are the unseen caretakers of the forest, quietly and efficiently ensuring that nothing is truly wasted, that death becomes life once again, in a continuous cycle of renewal. To stroll through autumn woods is to walk across an unseen economy, powered by the tireless efforts of mushrooms, where every fallen leaf becomes an integral part of a cycle that is older than time itself. Without fungi, life on Earth would drown in its own debris, unable to recycle organic matter. Every year, billions of leaves fall from the trees, branches snap, and crash to the ground, trees topple and decay, and animals perish, their bodies returning to the earth. Without the essential role played by fungi, all of this organic matter would pile up endlessly, layer upon layer, until the planet was ultimately buried beneath its own accumulating debris, a suffocating blanket of undecomposed material. Fungi are the great recyclers of the natural world, tirelessly secreting enzymes that dismantle even the toughest molecules in wood, leaves, and bone, breaking them down into simpler components. They transform what appears to be solid and final into soil, essential nutrients, and even the very air we breathe, feeding the next generation of life and ensuring the continuation of the cycle. If fungi were to suddenly vanish from the planet, forests would quickly suffocate beneath their own weight, and the essential cycles of renewal that sustain life would grind to a halt, leading to ecological collapse. Every step you take on a forest floor is made possible only because countless fungal threads have worked tirelessly to clear the way, dissolving yesterday's remains into tomorrow's growth, creating a fertile environment for new life to flourish. In silence and with unwavering patience, fungi keep the earth breathable, livable, and ever-renewing, serving as the unseen caretakers that prevent the world from drowning in its past. Some mushrooms are invisible until nightfall, revealing their presence only under the cover of darkness. In the daylight, certain mushrooms possess the remarkable ability to vanish into their surroundings, seamlessly blending with bark, leaves, and the surrounding soil, rendering them nearly invisible to the casual observer. But when darkness falls and the moon casts its gentle glow, they reveal their hidden secret, illuminating the forest with an ethereal light. Bioluminescent fungi glow softly in hues of green, blue, or yellow, emerging from the shadows like ghostly lamps, creating a magical and otherworldly atmosphere. To stumble upon one of these glowing mushrooms in a night forest is to feel as though you've entered another realm, a hidden world where fungi light their own way, defying the darkness with their inner radiance. The glow originates from a delicate chemical dance within their cells, a process remarkably similar to the reaction that makes fireflies shine, illuminating summer nights with their fleeting bursts of light. Some species of these bioluminescent mushrooms glow only at night, conserving their energy during the day as though performing solely for the appreciative audience of the darkness, revealing their hidden beauty only when the sun has set. For centuries, these glowing fungi have inspired countless myths of forest spirits and mischievous sprites, guiding or sometimes tricking travelers under the watchful eye of the moon. Today, they continue to stir the imagination, providing compelling proof that the forest has its own hidden lanterns, switched on only when the stars come out to play. Fungi can farm algae to make lichens, a symbiotic partnership that colonizes diverse environments. Lichens, those colorful crusts and delicate frills that cling tenaciously to rocks and trees, are not single organisms acting alone, but rather remarkable partnerships, complex symbioses between different forms of life. They are, in essence, fungi that have cleverly learned to farm. Algae or cyanobacteria team up with fungi, providing structure, protection, and moisture. The algae, in turn, supply food through photosynthesis. Together, they forge entirely new life forms, capable of enduring extreme conditions where neither could survive alone. Think Arctic tundras, bare cliffs, deserts, even outer space. These lichens stand as some of Earth's most ancient and resilient colonizers, breaking down rock to form soil and painting the world with patches of green, yellow, and orange. Essentially, they're not just scavengers, they're farmers, cultivating their partners in one of nature's earliest examples of cooperation. Each lichen whispers a silent tale of partnership, proof that survival often hinges not on competition, but on collaboration across different kingdoms of life. Some mushrooms are only safe to eat after cooking, while some edible mushrooms are safe raw, even if they aren't poisonous. Others contain mild toxins or compounds that are only neutralized by heat. Morels, prized by chefs, are a prime example. Raw, they can cause stomach upset, but once sautéed or roasted, they transform into delicacies bursting with nutty, earthy flavors. Others, like shiitakes, release richer aromas and more nutrients when heat unlocks their chemical compounds. It's as if fire completes their story, turning potential harm into nourishment. This vital knowledge has been passed down through generations of foragers. The right preparation transforms danger into delight. The transformation feels almost alchemical. The simple act of cooking converts something untrustworthy into something nourishing and safe to consume. Mushrooms remind us that food isn't always straightforward. Sometimes it demands respect, patience, and a ritual to unlock its hidden potential. Some mushrooms are so bitter they are inedible. Not every mushroom aims to be a meal. Some defend themselves with flavors so intensely bitter that even the hungriest creature will reject them. The bitter bolete, for example, looks almost identical to its edible relatives, but a single bite can ruin an entire dish with its acrid taste. These defensive compounds are nature's way of deterring predators without resorting to toxins. To humans, bitterness is often a warning sign, a sensory alarm telling us to stop. In the fungal kingdom, it's just another tool in the arsenal of survival. Yet, even these unpalatable mushrooms contribute to the ecosystem, recycling matter and nourishing the soil. They remind us that not everything in the forest is meant for us. Taste itself is part of an ongoing conversation between species, a subtle push and pull that determines who eats and who is left alone. Fungi have the capability to produce natural hallucinogens. Among the most well-known and debated mushrooms are those that produce hallucinogenic compounds like psilocybin. These chemicals can dramatically alter human perception, creating visions, distorting time, and fostering a sense of connection beyond the self. For centuries, these mushrooms were used in spiritual and shamanic rituals, believed to open gateways to the divine. In recent years, scientists have revisited these fungi with renewed interest, exploring their potential for treating depression, anxiety, and addiction. The profound way a mushroom can alter consciousness is truly remarkable. It suggests that fungi not only recycle the forest, but can also rewire the human mind. Whether viewed as sacred, dangerous, or therapeutic, these mushrooms exist at the intersection of biology and mystery, holding within their delicate caps the power to shift our perception of reality. Ancient cave paintings may show the use of mushrooms. Scattered across caves in Spain and Algeria, prehistoric paintings depict human figures holding objects resembling mushrooms. Some scholars believe this is evidence that early humans gathered mushrooms not just for food, but also for spiritual experiences. The images feature dancing figures, bursts of color, and patterns that mirror the visions induced by hallucinogenic mushrooms. While certainty is impossible, the idea that humans were exploring fungal states of mind tens of thousands of years ago is captivating. It suggests that mushrooms have been shaping culture, ritual, and imagination since the dawn of art itself. Imagining ancient people huddled around a fire, painting mushrooms on cave walls as symbols of journeys into the unseen, evokes a deep connection across millennia to the ways fungi have inspired both survival and storytelling. Mushrooms can be used in creating biodegradable packaging. In a world grappling with plastic waste, fungi may offer a much-needed solution. Mycelium can be grown into molds to create lightweight, durable packaging materials. Once dried, this material resembles polystyrene foam but is entirely biodegradable. Companies are already experimenting with mushroom packaging as a replacement for styrofoam in shipping boxes, electronics, and even furniture cushioning. After use, it can be composted, returning harmlessly to the soil. The process uses agricultural waste to feed the mycelium, making the raw ingredients abundant and renewable. It's incredible to think that the same organism that sprouts mushrooms in the forest could one day cushion your packages or protect fragile goods, leaving no pollution behind. Where plastic lingers in the earth for centuries, fungi promise a cycle of creation and return, offering hope that packaging itself can one day become part of the natural flow of life. Certain mycelium acts as a natural fire retardant. Researchers have found that when grown into materials, certain types of mycelium naturally resist flames. Unlike plastics or wood, which ignite and release toxic smoke, mycelium composites char and smolder without producing dangerous gases. This makes them promising for eco-friendly insulation, furniture, and building materials. Imagine walls lined with fungal networks, strong and safe, protecting homes not only from the elements but also from fire. The secret lies in the chitin and polysaccharides within the fungal cell walls, which resist burning. Nature, through fungi, has engineered a material that humans are only beginning to fully appreciate. Mycelium fireproofing could revolutionize construction, making buildings both safer and greener. To realize that the same hidden threads that weave together a forest floor could also shield a house from flames is a powerful reminder of fungi's versatility. A silent kingdom offering tools for the future. Mushrooms could replace leather with mycelium leather. Leather has long been prized for its strength and flexibility, but its production is resource-intensive and environmentally damaging. Enter mycelium leather, a material grown from fungal mycelium. It can be cultivated in sheets, tanned and finished to mimic the look and feel of traditional leather. The result is durable, breathable, and completely biodegradable. Designers are already crafting shoes, handbags, and furniture from this innovative material. Unlike animal hides, which take months or years to produce, mycelium leather can be grown in weeks with far less water and no cruelty. Its texture can be adjusted to be soft and suede-like or smooth and glossy. The fact that the same network that forms mushrooms can also become a jacket or a chair is almost surreal. Fungi aren't just healers and recyclers, they're also inventors, offering humanity materials that bridge beauty, ethics, and sustainability. Certain mushrooms contain compounds that melt ice. In forests with long, harsh winters, some mushrooms hold secrets that allow them to endure. Certain species produce antifreeze-like proteins and sugars that keep their cells safe even when the air freezes. These compounds lower the freezing point of water, preventing the formation of sharp ice crystals that can tear delicate tissues apart. In the soil, this allows fungi to continue breaking down leaves and wood when most organisms lie dormant. Even more remarkably, these molecules can sometimes seep into the surrounding environment, loosening the grip of frost around the mushroom. Researchers are studying these natural antifreezes as models for safer ways to protect crops from frost or de-ice roads without using harsh chemicals. It's humbling to imagine a tiny mushroom, no bigger than your palm, quietly reshaping its frozen surroundings, reminding us that resilience is often found in the smallest, most unassuming corners of life. Fungi can extract minerals from rocks. While they lack tools or muscles, fungi are exceptional miners. Certain species release organic acids that slowly dissolve rock, unlocking nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and potassium. In doing so, they transform lifeless stone into fertile soil, creating the foundation for forests and fields. This process may have begun over 1 billion years ago, when fungi first crept across bare landscapes, paving the way for plants to colonize the land. Even today, lichens, the partnerships between fungi and algae, etch their way across cliffs and gravestones, tiny but relentless. Over centuries, their work reshapes entire mountainsides. Scientists now envision biomining technologies inspired by these fungi, harvesting rare elements with far less environmental damage than human machines cause. To stand before a rocky outcrop and realize that it is being quietly consumed, molecule by molecule, by unseen fungal threads, is to witness patience itself transformed into power. Some mushrooms thrive on radioactive waste. In places where human life struggles, mushrooms sometimes flourish. At Chernobyl and other contaminated sites, scientists have discovered fungi growing in rubble saturated with radiation. These fungi contain melanin, the same pigment found in our skin, but here it seems to serve a different purpose. Rather than just shielding, it seems to transform radiation into energy through a strange process called radiosynthesis. Imagine mushrooms performing a kind of photosynthesis, not with sunlight, but with radiation that we consider deadly. These discoveries suggest remarkable possibilities. Fungi that could help clean up radioactive waste or shield astronauts traveling through the harshness of deep space. In the ruins of disaster zones, mushrooms remind us that life adapts even to the unthinkable, transforming danger into nourishment. What is poison to us becomes fuel for them, proof of nature's extraordinary ability to survive where survival seems impossible. Mushrooms may have helped plants colonize land. When the first green plants left the oceans to establish themselves on land, they faced a barren world, bare rock, no soil, and few nutrients. But they weren't alone. Fossil evidence suggests that fungi were already there, ready to form partnerships. These early alliances allowed plants to draw nutrients from the rock, shared by fungal networks, in exchange for sugars. Over time, this collaboration created the first thin soils, enabling forests and grasslands to emerge. Without fungi, plants might never have taken root on land, and Earth might still be a silent, barren, and grey landscape. Every tree, every meadow, every blade of grass carries the legacy of this partnership. When you walk across a field today, you're walking on ground prepared by fungi hundreds of millions of years ago, a silent debt woven into the very fabric of our planet's living green. Some fungi form partnerships with coral reefs. While we often think of mushrooms as forest dwellers, they also make their homes in the sea. Marine fungi have been found living alongside corals, weaving unseen threads into the vibrant structure of reefs. These partnerships may help regulate nutrients, protect corals from pathogens, or stabilize fragile reef ecosystems. Though less studied than their land-based counterparts, marine fungi could be crucial to the survival of coral reefs facing the stresses of climate change. To imagine fungi drifting among coral polyps is to recognize that the fungal kingdom isn't limited to soil and trees. It extends into salt water, connecting life in unseen ways. If corals are the architects of reefs, fungi may be their caretakers, helping them endure. Even beneath the waves, mushrooms and their relatives remind us that life is never solitary. It's always built on partnerships. Mushrooms can reproduce both sexually and asexually. Fungi are masters of adaptability. They can release spores asexually, producing countless genetic copies in an efficient burst of reproduction. This strategy allows them to colonize quickly, spreading through soil and air with astonishing reach. But fungi also reproduce sexually, exchanging genetic material with others to create variation. This gives them the adaptability needed to face changing conditions, pests, or new environments. Some species even switch between these methods depending on their circumstances, maximizing their chances of survival. Imagine an organism with two entirely different strategies for creating more of itself. One for speed, one for resilience. It's a level of versatility few life forms possess. Each mushroom you see may be the result of a cloning lineage or a genetic mix, a visible reminder that fungi hold within them not just one way of being, but many. Some species have over 20,000 different genders. In the fungal world, reproduction takes diversity to astonishing extremes. Some species have tens of thousands of mating types, the equivalent of genders. A single puffball can release trillions of spores. When a puffball reaches maturity, it transforms into a sphere filled with a fine, powdery mass of spores. A raindrop, a falling twig, or the touch of a curious hand can trigger the release, sending a smoky cloud into the air. What seems like a puff of dust is actually a storm of microscopic lives. A single large puffball can release trillions of spores, more than the number of people who have ever lived. Most of these spores will drift away, landing in places too dry or barren to support growth, yet a few will find the right conditions and begin new colonies, continuing the lineage. This strategy is all about numbers, overwhelming chance with sheer abundance. Watching a puffball erupt is like watching the forest breathe, a moment of release where invisibility becomes visible and possibility scatters into the wind by the millions. Spores can be found floating high above cities. The fungal kingdom isn't confined to the forest floor. Spores rise on air currents, carried higher and higher until they drift far above rooftops and skyscrapers. Studies have found them thousands of feet above cities, mingling with dust and pollen in the atmosphere. Some are even swept into clouds, later falling with raindrops onto distant landscapes. Every breath we take in a city contains traces of spores, fragments of distant forests, gardens, and soils. Even surrounded by concrete, we remain connected to the hidden networks of fungi. In a way, the air itself is a bridge between the wild and the urban, carrying spores as constant messengers. The next time you walk down a busy street, remember that the fungal kingdom is with you, drifting invisibly overhead, linking your breath to ecosystems you may never see. Mushrooms may influence global weather patterns. Although invisible, spores may play a role in shaping something as vast as the weather. Tiny and abundant, they rise into the atmosphere, acting as seeds for water droplets. Clouds can form around these particles. In this way, fungi may help determine when and where rain falls, quietly participating in Earth's climate cycles. Forests may not only recycle nutrients underground, but also call rain from the sky, sending spores aloft to encourage moisture to condense into clouds. While this idea is still being studied, it suggests that mushrooms influence more than just the soil. They may reach into the very patterns of the atmosphere. Imagine raindrops forming around spores released in a distant forest, falling days later across fields and rivers. Fungi blur the line between ground and sky, reminding us that life doesn't stop at borders, but flows upward, outward, and everywhere. Certain fungi can absorb heavy metals from soil. In soils polluted by human industry, fungi often step forward as silent healers. Certain mushrooms possess an extraordinary ability to absorb and lock away heavy metals like lead, mercury, and cadmium. Their mycelial threads act like sponges, drawing toxins from the environment and concentrating them inside their fruiting bodies. This process, called mycoremediation, offers hope for cleaning contaminated land without digging, burning, or using chemicals. Though the mushrooms themselves become unsafe to eat, they've already served their purpose, transforming poisoned ground back into fertile soil. Imagine a ruined landscape littered with waste, where mushrooms sprout defiantly, acting as living filters. They are nature's alchemists, transmuting danger into something contained. In their quiet labor, fungi reveal a blueprint for resilience, demonstrating that even in the most damaged corners of the earth, healing can begin, not with machines, but with the silent patience of threads in the soil. Mushrooms can be used to clean up oil spills. When oil spills into soil or water, the damage can persist for decades. But fungi may offer an elegant solution. Certain mushrooms can break down hydrocarbons, the very molecules that make up oil, into harmless substances. The mycelium secretes enzymes that dismantle the toxic sludge, transforming black slicks into fertile earth, where plants can grow again. In experiments, areas treated with fungi have transformed from oily wastelands into blooming fields within weeks. Birds and insects return, and the land breathes once more. This technique, part of the broader field of mycoremediation, suggests that mushrooms could play a role in healing some of humanity's greatest environmental disasters. Picture an oil-soaked shore slowly turning green again, not through human intervention alone, but with the help of mushrooms spreading their threads through the poisoned ground. Nature, it seems, holds the antidote within the very organisms we often overlook. Fungi can extract minerals from rocks. While they lack tools or muscles, fungi are exceptional miners. Certain species release organic acids that slowly dissolve rock, unlocking nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and potassium. In doing so, they transform lifeless stone into fertile soil, creating the foundation for forests and fields. This process may have begun over 1 billion years ago, when fungi first crept across bare landscapes, paving the way for plants to colonize the land. Even today, lichens, the partnerships between fungi and algae, etch their way across cliffs and gravestones, tiny but relentless. Over centuries, their work reshapes entire mountainsides. Scientists now envision biomining technologies inspired by these fungi, harvesting rare elements with far less environmental damage than human machines cause. To stand before a rocky outcrop and realize that it is being quietly consumed, molecule by molecule, by unseen fungal threads, is to witness patience itself transformed into power. Some mushrooms thrive on radioactive waste. In places where human life struggles, mushrooms sometimes flourish. At Chernobyl and other contaminated sites, scientists have discovered fungi growing in rubble saturated with radiation. These fungi contain melanin, the same pigment found in our skin, but here it seems to serve a different purpose. Rather than just shielding, it seems to transform radiation into energy through a strange process called radiosynthesis. Imagine mushrooms performing a kind of photosynthesis, not with sunlight, but with radiation that we consider deadly. These discoveries suggest remarkable possibilities. Fungi that could help clean up radioactive waste or shield astronauts traveling through the harshness of deep space. In the ruins of disaster zones, mushrooms remind us that life adapts even to the unthinkable, transforming danger into nourishment. What is poison to us becomes fuel for them, proof of nature's extraordinary ability to survive where survival seems impossible. Mushrooms may have helped plants colonize land. When the first green plants left the oceans to establish themselves on land, they faced a barren world, bare rock, no soil, and few nutrients. But they weren't alone. Fossil evidence suggests that fungi were already there, ready to form partnerships. These early alliances allowed plants to draw nutrients from the rock, shared by fungal networks, in exchange for sugars. Over time, this collaboration created the first thin soils, enabling forests and grasslands to emerge. Without fungi, plants might never have taken root on land, and Earth might still be a silent, barren, and grey landscape. Every tree, every meadow, every blade of grass carries the legacy of this partnership. When you walk across a field today, you're walking on ground prepared by fungi hundreds of millions of years ago, a silent debt woven into the very fabric of our planet's living green. Some fungi form partnerships with coral reefs. While we often think of mushrooms as forest dwellers, they also make their homes in the sea. Marine fungi have been found living alongside corals, weaving unseen threads into the vibrant structure of reefs. These partnerships may help regulate nutrients, protect corals from pathogens, or stabilize fragile reef ecosystems. Though less studied than their land-based counterparts, marine fungi could be crucial to the survival of coral reefs facing the stresses of climate change. To imagine fungi drifting among coral polyps is to recognize that the fungal kingdom isn't limited to soil and trees. It extends into saltwater, connecting life in unseen ways. If corals are the architects of reefs, fungi may be their caretakers, helping them endure. Even beneath the waves, mushrooms and their relatives remind us that life is never solitary. It's always built on partnerships. Mushrooms can reproduce both sexually and asexually. Fungi are masters of adaptability. They can release spores asexually, producing countless genetic copies in an efficient burst of reproduction. This strategy allows them to colonize quickly, spreading through soil and air with astonishing reach. But fungi also reproduce sexually, exchanging genetic material with others to create variation. This gives them the adaptability needed to face changing conditions, pests, or new environments. Some species even switch between these methods depending on their circumstances, maximizing their chances of survival. Imagine an organism with two entirely different strategies for creating more of itself. One for speed, one for resilience. It's a level of versatility few life forms possess. Each mushroom you see may be the result of a cloning lineage or a genetic mix, a visible reminder that fungi hold within them not just one way of being, but many. Some species have over 20,000 different genders. In the fungal world, reproduction takes diversity to astonishing extremes. Some species have tens of thousands of mating types, the equivalent of genders. A single puffball can release trillions of spores. When a puffball reaches maturity, it transforms into a sphere filled with a fine, powdery mass of spores. A raindrop, a falling twig, or the touch of a curious hand can trigger the release, sending a smoky cloud into the air. What seems like a puff of dust is actually a storm of microscopic lives. A single large puffball can release trillions of spores, more than the number of people who have ever lived. Most of these spores will drift away, landing in places too dry or barren to support growth. Yet, a few will find the right conditions and begin new colonies, continuing the lineage. This strategy is all about numbers, overwhelming chance with sheer abundance. Watching a puffball erupt is like watching the forest breathe, a moment of release where invisibility becomes visible and possibility scatters into the wind by the millions. Spores can be found floating high above cities. The fungal kingdom isn't confined to the forest floor. Spores rise on air currents, carried higher and higher until they drift far above rooftops and skyscrapers. Studies have found them thousands of feet above cities, mingling with dust and pollen in the atmosphere. Some are even swept into clouds, later falling with raindrops onto distant landscapes. Every breath we take in a city contains traces of spores, fragments of distant forests, gardens, and soils. Even surrounded by concrete, we remain connected to the hidden networks of fungi. In a way, the air itself is a bridge between the wild and the urban, carrying spores as constant messengers. The next time you walk down a busy street, remember that the fungal kingdom is with you, drifting invisibly overhead, linking your breath to ecosystems you may never see. Mushrooms may influence global weather patterns. Although invisible, spores may play a role in shaping something as vast as the weather. Tiny and abundant, they rise into the atmosphere, acting as seeds for water droplets. Clouds can form around these particles. In this way, fungi may help determine when and where rain falls, quietly participating in Earth's climate cycles. Forests may not only recycle nutrients underground, but also call rain from the sky, sending spores aloft to encourage moisture to condense into clouds. While this idea is still being studied, it suggests that mushrooms influence more than just the soil. They may reach into the very patterns of the atmosphere. Imagine raindrops forming around spores released in a distant forest, falling days later across fields and rivers. Fungi blur the line between ground and sky, reminding us that life doesn't stop at borders, but flows upward, outward, and everywhere. Certain fungi can absorb heavy metals from soil. In soils polluted by human industry, fungi often step forward as silent healers. Certain mushrooms possess an extraordinary ability to absorb and lock away heavy metals like lead, mercury, and cadmium. Their mycelial threads act like sponges, drawing toxins from the environment and concentrating them inside their fruiting bodies. This process, called mycoremediation, offers hope for cleaning contaminated land without digging, burning, or using chemicals. Though the mushrooms themselves become unsafe to eat, they've already served their purpose, transforming poisoned ground back into fertile soil. Imagine a ruined landscape littered with waste, where mushrooms sprout defiantly, acting as living filters. They are nature's alchemists, transmuting danger into something contained. In their quiet labor, fungi reveal a blueprint for resilience, demonstrating that even in the most damaged corners of the earth, healing can begin, not with machines, but with the silent patience of threads in the soil. Mushrooms can be used to clean up oil spills. When oil spills into soil or water, the damage can persist for decades. But fungi may offer an elegant solution. Certain mushrooms can break down hydrocarbons, the very molecules that make up oil, into harmless substances. The mycelium secretes enzymes that dismantle the toxic sludge, transforming black slicks into fertile earth, where plants can grow again. In experiments, areas treated with fungi have transformed from oily wastelands into blooming fields within weeks. Birds and insects return, and the land breathes once more. This technique, part of the broader field of mycoremediation, suggests that mushrooms could play a role in healing some of humanity's greatest environmental disasters. Picture an oil-soaked shore slowly turning green again, not through human intervention alone, but with the help of mushrooms spreading their threads through the poisoned ground. Nature, it seems, holds the antidote within the very organisms we often overlook. Some mushrooms taste like chocolate. We typically associate mushrooms with earthy, savory flavors, but some species surprise us with sweetness. A few rare fungi produce aromas and tastes reminiscent of chocolate or cocoa. Scientists believe these flavors come from unique aromatic compounds, molecules that mimic the same sensations chocolate creates on our tongues. While not as common as truffles or candy caps, these chocolate-like mushrooms remind us just how diverse the fungal palette can be. Imagine walking through a forest, expecting damp earth and leaf mold, only to catch a whiff of something warm and sweet, like a bakery in the middle of the woods. For chefs, these mushrooms open up strange and wonderful possibilities, desserts flavored not with cacao beans but with forest fungi. It's another way mushrooms blur the boundaries of our expectations, offering surprises not only in their shapes and colors, but in tastes that can feel like an echo of human comforts. Others glow green like lanterns. In tropical forests, certain mushrooms cast an eerie glow that can stop you in your tracks. These bioluminescent fungi shine with a greenish light, sometimes bright enough to illuminate the surrounding leaves. The glow is caused by a chemical reaction involving luciferin and luciferase, similar to the process used by fireflies. Scientists believe this light may attract insects at night, which then carry spores to new locations. To encounter them in the dark is to feel as though the forest itself has lit lanterns on the ground, glowing softly in the undergrowth. For centuries, travelers told stories of fairy fire and foxfire, mysterious lights that shimmered from rotting wood. Today, we know that these lights are mushrooms, revealing their hidden radiance. They remind us that even in darkness, life finds ways to shine, creating small green beacons in the night to carry its story forward. Mushrooms once grew as tall as trees. Hundreds of millions of years ago, Earth's landscapes looked very different. Long before towering pines or oaks, massive fungi called prototaxites dominated the land. These strange organisms grew up to 30 feet tall, making them the tallest life forms of their time. Rising like pillars, they dotted ancient landscapes in a world where insects had only just begun to take flight. Fossils suggest that these giants may have resembled enormous tree trunks, yet they were neither plant nor tree but fungi. Imagine a primeval plain with towering fungal spires standing solitary against a barren horizon. They prepared the land for the forests to come, breaking down rock, building soil and shaping ecosystems. Today, mushrooms are mostly small and fleeting, but their ancestors once ruled the earth, guardians of a forgotten age when fungi, not trees, were the giants of the land. Some fungi can survive complete desiccation. Water is usually considered the essence of life, but some fungi can endure even when every drop is removed. Certain desert fungi and lichens can survive complete desiccation, drying until they appear lifeless. Yet, when moisture returns, they awaken, continuing their growth as if nothing had happened. This extraordinary resilience stems from special sugars and proteins that protect their cells from collapsing during drought. This enables them to colonize the harshest deserts and rocky outcroppings, places where few organisms can survive. Scientists study these fungi for clues about how life might survive on Mars or other arid planets. Imagine a tiny thread of fungus, brittle and dormant for years, springing back to life with a touch of rain. In their quiet endurance, these organisms demonstrate that survival sometimes means not fighting conditions, but waiting, perfectly still, until the moment is right. Mushrooms have been sent into space for experiments. The remarkable resilience of fungi has made them subjects of space research. Scientists have sent mushrooms and fungal spores aboard spacecraft to test their survival in microgravity and cosmic radiation. To their amazement, many fungi not only survived, but continued to grow. Some species even appeared to adapt, altering their chemistry in response to the extreme environment. These studies suggest that fungi could play a role in future space missions, perhaps by recycling waste, producing food, or even shielding astronauts from radiation. There's even speculation that hardy spores might survive interplanetary travel, drifting through space to seed new worlds. Whether this is true or not, mushrooms in orbit remind us that life is astonishingly adaptable. A mushroom that can sprout in the vacuum of space stretches our imagination of where life can go, suggesting that Earth's hidden kingdom may possess cosmic potential. Certain fungi help crops resist disease. Beneath fields of wheat, corn, or rice, invisible allies are at work. Mycorrhizal fungi, which live in partnership with plant roots, not only provide nutrients, but also strengthen plants against disease. By stimulating a plant's immune system, fungi make crops more resistant to pests and pathogens. In some cases, they even outcompete harmful microbes directly, preventing them from attacking the roots. Farmers are beginning to harness this ancient partnership, using fungal inoculants to reduce their reliance on chemical pesticides. Imagine crops strengthened not by sprays, but by quiet underground allies weaving protective webs. These partnerships serve as reminders that agriculture isn't a battle against nature, but a collaboration with it. Just as forests thrive on fungal networks, farms of the future may discover their greatest resilience, not in chemicals, but in the same humble fungi that have been nourishing plants for millions of years. Mushrooms are used to produce life-saving drugs. Beyond antibiotics, mushrooms and their relatives are chemical treasure troves. Compounds derived from fungi are used to lower cholesterol, suppress immune rejection in organ transplants, and even combat cancer. Lovastatin, a drug that revolutionized heart medicine, comes from a fungus. Cyclosporine, vital for transplant patients, was discovered in a soil fungus. Researchers continue to scan the fungal kingdom, searching for the next breakthrough hidden in a forest or meadow. For centuries, traditional medicine has relied on mushrooms, but modern science is revealing just how profound their pharmacological powers are. Each cap, each thread of mycelium may hold a molecule that could one day save lives. To walk through the woods is, in a sense, to wander through a living pharmacy where cures are waiting patiently to be discovered beneath moss and bark, inside the quiet labor of fungi. The first antibiotic, penicillin, came from a fungus. In 1928, Alexander Fleming noticed that a mold, Penicillium notatum, had killed bacteria in a petri dish in his lab. This chance observation led to penicillin, the first widely used antibiotic, which went on to save millions of lives during World War II and beyond. While not a mushroom, penicillium belongs to the same magnificent fungal kingdom, demonstrating yet again the profound influence fungi exert on human history. The discovery of penicillin revolutionized medicine, transforming deadly infections into treatable conditions. It's awe-inspiring to consider that such a momentous shift arose not solely from human ingenuity, but from the unassuming work of a fungus flourishing in a neglected petri dish. That unassuming mold possessed the ability to completely rewrite the narrative of medicine, serving as a reminder that fungi are not merely forest recyclers, but also guardians of human survival in unforeseen ways. Fungi are the driving force behind the rising of bread and the fermentation of wine. Each loaf that expands in the oven and every glass that sparkles during the evening hours owes its existence to the unassuming presence of fungi. Yeasts, which are single-celled relatives of mushrooms, consume sugars and release carbon dioxide and alcohol. In bread dough, these bubbles become trapped within the elastic gluten network, causing the loaf to swell gradually like a slow sunrise. In wine, that same breath transforms into either effervescence or the serene tranquility of a matured vintage. A sourdough starter constitutes its own miniature ecosystem, with wild and cultivated yeasts coexisting alongside beneficial bacteria, each adapting to the prevailing temperature, type of flour, and the passage of time. Bakers acquire the ability to discern its condition by its aroma and sound, a gentle hiss akin to a slumbering tide. Vintners likewise attribute terroir, at least in part, to microbial factors, specifically the subtle composition of indigenous yeasts that influence the flavor profile of grapes. Fermentation, while undoubtedly a chemical process, is also a carefully orchestrated dance with fungi converting sugars into sustenance and celebration, one imperceptible breath at a time. Mushrooms have served as inspiration for entire artistic genres, from intricately embroidered folk motifs to lavishly illustrated field guides, mushrooms have persistently crept from the forest floor onto canvases, fabrics, and pages. Their silhouettes are simply irresistible, showcasing domes and frills, gills that evoke cathedral vaults, and stems that possess the poise of dancers. Art Nouveau adopted their flowing curves. Botanical illustrators meticulously pursued their nuanced colors. Ceramicists glazed caps with a rain-washed sheen. Contemporary designers riff on the ribbed geometry found beneath a mushroom cap to conceive of lamps, domes, and latticed screens. Photographers position themselves low to the ground to capture bioluminescent halos, transforming nocturnal forests into constellations. Even children's books utilize the fairy tale aura surrounding mushrooms, portraying them as symbols of surprise, gateways to diminutive luminous worlds. The allure extends beyond the purely visual. Mushrooms function as metaphors for emergence, for realms concealed until the conditions are just right. Art consistently revisits them because they are both alien and familiar, offering a language of forms that whispers, "Look closer." Certain mushrooms possess the ability to sing with ultrasonic clicks. While fungi lack mouths, researchers employing highly sensitive recording equipment have detected faint, click-like bursts as mushrooms grow and mycelium reorganizes fluids and pressures within their tissues. Whether these subtle sounds constitute true singing or are merely minute biomechanical releases remains under investigation, but the effect is undeniably enchanting, like a forest broadcasting on frequencies we rarely perceive. In laboratories, scientists are also quantifying electrical impulses coursing through mycelial threads, rhythmic spikes that accelerate, decelerate, and cluster together like syllables. Artists translate these patterns into audible tones, transforming fungal pulses into ambient music that ebbs and flows in response to humidity, light, or touch. Listening for an extended period, one might begin to envision a choir residing beneath the soil, emitting signals that coordinate growth, resource allocation, or stress responses. Similar to how a heartbeat and breath establish the tempo for a body, whether as language or byproduct, these clicks serve as a reminder that living structures possess rhythms, and the rhythm of mushrooms is patient and precise. Fungi have been discovered residing within rocks. In deserts so arid that the wind appears to polish the bones of the world, life seeks refuge within stone. Endolithic fungi nestle themselves inside mineral pores, as slender as hairs and as resilient as old rope, existing where temperatures fluctuate wildly and water arrives more as a rumor than rain. In Antarctica's dry valleys, they haunt the translucent surfaces of quartz, imbibing the faint, filtered light that penetrates a few millimeters deep. Their chemistry is pragmatic and ancient. Acids nibble at minerals, pigments buffer radiation, and metabolism decelerates to the barest flicker, poised to ignite when a film of meltwater reappears. To describe life as simply resilient is insufficient. Life is ingenious. These rock dwellers record their biographies in microns, patiently chiseling their existence into geology. Open a stone, and you may discover not emptiness, but a city of filaments, a reminder that habitat extends beyond our conventional understanding, and that the frontier frequently commences just beneath the world's surface. Mushrooms can transform ants into zombies. An ant unknowingly ventures beneath the verdant awning of a leaf, and a spore selects it, a single seed from a fungus possessing an intimate understanding of its host. Internally, the fungus proliferates like a whispered suggestion, weaving through muscles, while preserving just enough brain function to govern behavior. Driven by chemistry, the ant ascends to a height ideal for dispersal, clamps down on a vein in a death grip, and becomes immobilized. Subsequently, the fruiting stalk emerges, breaching the exoskeleton like a somber flower, releasing spores onto the forest path below. This constitutes the infamous tale of the zombie ant, precise as clockwork yet undeniably unsettling, horror distilled into evolutionary logic. By manipulating behavior, the fungus positions its offspring in the optimal wind current. Nature does not moralize, it strategizes, and here strategy is choreography, a climb, a bite, a stillness. Furthermore, a mushroom can disperse its dust into the moving air. Cordyceps fungi erupt from the bodies of insects, Cordyceps are the Gothic poets of the fungal kingdom, transforming the minor dramas of insect life into strange, frozen tableaux. A caterpillar hardens into a pedestal. A beetle metamorphoses into soil for a slender orange spear. A spider, captured mid-pose, sprouts delicate antlers. Each species of Cordyceps is specifically adapted, having evolved over millions of years for a particular host. A loaned key representing intimacy. Beneath the surface, enzymes soften tissues, chitinous threads fill voids, and the body is internally remapped until the fungus emerges into the light to fruit. The sight is unsettling because it blurs our neat categorical distinctions, transforming animal into architecture and parasite into gardener. Yet Cordyceps also replenish nutrients in the forest and regulate insect populations, achieving an ecological equilibrium expressed through eerie sculpture. Observing one compels a response of both repulsion and fascination, serving as a reminder that survival often manifests in forms we find beautiful only after the initial shudder subsides. Certain mushrooms resemble miniature bird nests, kneel amidst damp leaf litter, and you may discover a thimble-sized cup cradling glossy eggs. These are bird's nest fungi, members of the Nidulariaceae family, and those eggs are peridioles, spore packets poised for a rain-driven journey. When a raindrop strikes, it impacts the cup with precision, ejecting the peridioles outward like pebbles from a sling. A sticky cord enables them to adhere to passing twigs or fur, hitchhiking towards new territories. The design represents perfect physics scaled to a raindrop, bold geometry, impact angle, trajectory. They are easily overlooked until you've seen them once, and then the forest abruptly becomes teeming with miniature nests, entire nurseries operating silently at the microscopic level of the world. Bird's nest fungi collapse the distance between whimsy and engineering, a fairy tale form executed with mathematical grace, each rainstorm serving as a drum roll for the next generation. Others resemble fingers reaching out of the ground. In shaded corners, clusters of blunt black clubs emerge from the soil like a dimly remembered hand. These are dead man's fingers, Xylaria polymorpha, blue-gray initially, then darkening with age. Elsewhere, coral fungi elevate pale branching antlers in delicate chandeliers. These forms deceive the eye because they feel gestural, a reaching, a beckoning, when they are simply fruiting bodies designed to efficiently shed spores in moving air. The macabre names are our own projections, our tendency to find ourselves in everything. Look longer, and the theatre quietens. These fingers are wood recyclers born from buried roots, mapping where a tree once stood. They rise, split, and weather back into husks, but the mycelium beneath persists, patient as bedrock. It's a valuable lesson. Much of a life can remain hidden and still constitute the truest part of the story. Some mushrooms are enveloped in slime. Gleaming caps glisten with a varnish of rain and resin, some so slick that you can nearly see your reflection. The slimy appearance is not a mere quirk, but a strategy. In boletes and swillus species, a viscous cap aids in retaining moisture and may safeguard tender tissues from drying winds. In the audacious stinkhorns, the slime, glaber, assumes a different guise, a foul, sugary lure that mimics decay and attracts flies. The flies land, feed, and depart, bearing spores like dusting powder on their feet, a taxi service paid in trickery. To us, slime signifies a warning, but to mushrooms it represents a toolkit, hydration layer, raincoat, perfume, billboard. Touch one, and your fingertips become tacky, a tactile memo that the forest prioritizes function over aesthetics. Even gloss serves a purpose. Mushrooms can be bright blue, purple, or pink. Some mornings the forest forgets its earth tones. Indigo milk caps bleed blue, amethyst deceivers scatter jewel-bright petals among brown leaves, and wax caps arise in sherbet pinks and citrus yellows on old meadows. The colors serve numerous purposes. Pigments shield from light, antioxidants protect cells, signals attract insects, or they are simply the chemistry that accompanies other traits. To stumble upon a blue mushroom is to experience a slight jolt of disbelief, like discovering a tropical fish in a puddle. Photographers pursue these moments. A cobalt cap beneath moss, a violet stem against russet oak. Color in fungi represents a spectrum of survival strategies and accidents that register as wonder to human eyes. The palette reminds us that forests are not monochrome, but are stained glass windows laid flat, illuminated from above by cloud light and painted from below by the silent chemistry of the soil. Fungi can endure in the most hostile deserts. In the arid silence of deserts, where plants curl into thorns and animals vanish into burrows, fungi persist. Some conceal themselves in cryptic forms, existing within rocks, shielded from wind and sun. Others envelop themselves in lichens, binding with algae or cyanobacteria to form living skins across stone. These partnerships synthesize food from sunlight, while fungi provide shelter and moisture storage. Even in the Atacama Desert, one of the driest locations on Earth, scientists have identified fungal life clinging to salt crystals and mineral veins, surviving on fleeting mists and dew. Their resilience is astonishing. They can tolerate extremes of heat, cold, drought, and radiation. To envision fungi thriving where almost nothing else can survive is to witness survival stripped to its essence. Life, through fungi, whispers even in places we deem lifeless, demonstrating repeatedly that the boundaries of possibility are far more expansive than we imagine. Mushrooms once nourished the dinosaurs. As dinosaurs thundered through prehistoric forests, fungi were present, decomposing wood, recycling matter, and occasionally directly feeding the giants. Fossil evidence suggests that mushrooms sprouted prolifically during the Cretaceous period, flourishing in soils rich with decaying vegetation. Some may have been grazed upon by herbivores alongside ferns and conifers, their fruiting bodies plucked from the ground like snacks. Others collaborated with roots, sustaining the forests upon which dinosaurs depended. Envision a sauropod stretching its neck across a swampy clearing, the ground below dotted with mushrooms the size of dinner plates. In a world devoid of flowering plants, fungi were already recycling nutrients, maintaining the cycle of life. They served as both sustenance and infrastructure, feeding individuals and sustaining ecosystems. To consider that dinosaurs, icons of raw power, owed a debt to the unassuming mushroom, is to realize that even giants traverse upon the silent foundation that fungi weave. Fossil fungi date back over 400 million years. The fossil record abounds with bones and shells, but mushrooms leave more delicate, rarer traces. Nevertheless, we have unearthed impressions and mineralized remains of fungi extending back over 400 million years into the Devonian period. These fossils capture filaments and spores frozen in ancient sediments, indicating that fungi were already shaping the land, while fish were just beginning to venture onto it. Some of these fossils preserve mycorrhizal partnerships, proof that even then, fungi were collaborating with plants to colonize barren rock and construct soil. It is humbling to hold a piece of stone and know that it harbors the ghost of a fungus that existed before forests, before insects took flight, before most life had even abandoned the sea. Each fossil functions as a window, revealing that fungi are not mere supporting players, but primeval architects present at the very genesis of the terrestrial world. The oldest fungal fossil is nearly 1 billion years old. In the Canadian Arctic, scientists discovered a fossilized network of filaments so ancient that it strains our imagination, dating back nearly 1 billion years. This places fungi among the earliest multicellular organisms ever discovered, predating plants by hundreds of millions of years. These filaments, preserved in shale, reveal that fungi were experimenting with intricate forms long before forests existed, perhaps even before the evolution of animals. Their presence suggests that fungi may have played a role in preparing Earth for subsequent life, weathering rocks and recycling nutrients in the oceans and on land. To imagine a billion-year-old fungus is to confront time on a scale beyond comprehension. These were organisms that thrived in a world utterly foreign to ours, yet their descendants continue to fruit in our gardens and kitchens. Every mushroom we encounter today is linked by lineage to these ancient pioneers, carrying echoes of a world that barely resembled our own. Mushrooms can generate perfect geometric patterns. When mushrooms fruit, they occasionally arrange themselves in surprisingly precise patterns, arcs, spirals, even complete circles. These shapes arise naturally from the manner in which a mycelium expands outward underground. As it grows, the network depletes nutrients at the center and pushes outward, sprouting mushrooms at the advancing edge. From above, the result can appear almost designed, as though geometry itself has risen from the earth. Spirals may echo the mathematics of growth, mirroring shells and sunflowers, where efficiency dictates form. To stumble upon such a pattern in a meadow is to feel as though a hidden order has surfaced, nature sketching diagrams in living ink. These patterns serve as a reminder that beauty often emerges not from intention but from process, the physics of expansion, the flow of nutrients, the silent hand of time. Mushrooms are mathematicians as well, etching quiet symmetries beneath the forest canopy. Some spores are engineered to hitch rides on insects. Not all spores drift aimlessly in the air. Some are crafted to cling, equipped with spikes, stickiness, or hooks that snag on the legs, wings, or fur of passing insects. Insects become unwitting couriers, dispersing spores to new territories far beyond the reach of wind alone. Certain fungi take this partnership further, attracting insects with sugary exudates or glowing signals to ensure close contact. Others proliferate on flowers or leaves precisely where pollinators brush past. The strategy is ingenious. Why rely on chance when you can enlist travelers already traversing the landscape? For the insect, the exchange is imperceptible. For the fungus, it represents survival extended through hitchhiking. The forest teems with these silent exchanges where movement is currency and spores ride on wings like passengers boarding flights into the unknown, trusting in the restless wanderings of the tiny creatures of the air. Mushrooms aid in locking nutrients into the soil. Fungi function as the world's recyclers, decomposing dead leaves, wood, and organic matter into simpler forms. However, they accomplish more than simply releasing nutrients. They assist in retaining them in place. Mycelium binds soil particles together, preventing nutrients from being washed away by rain. In forests, this engenders a type of living sponge beneath the surface, storing phosphorus, nitrogen, and carbon within reach of roots. Absent fungi, soils would rapidly deplete their fertility, leaving plants malnourished. Even in agriculture, fungi fulfill this role, ensuring that nutrients remain stable and accessible to crops. Envision the underground web as a meticulous steward, carefully tucking nutrients into pockets until they are needed. In this manner, fungi act as both recyclers and guardians, ensuring that the richness of the land endures. They are keepers of fertility, invisible custodians of soil health, maintaining the silent balance that sustains forests and fields alike. Fungi create entire underground highways for microbes. Mycelium serves not only as a network for itself, but also for others. Studies have revealed that bacteria utilize fungal threads as highways, traversing along them to propagate through the soil more efficiently. The slender filaments furnish a stable surface, guiding microbes across otherwise impassable gaps. In return, bacteria sometimes contribute nutrients or assist the fungus, forming miniature partnerships. This constructs an underground infrastructure where countless microscopic species coexist and interact. A hidden ecosystem of highways, junctions, and exchanges, invisible yet vital. Without fungi, numerous microbes would be marooned in minuscule soil pockets, unable to disperse. With them, the ground metamorphoses into a bustling metropolis teeming with traffic and trade. To conceive of soil as merely empty dirt is a mistake. It more closely resembles a city throbbing with connections, and fungi, with their endless threads, are the engineers laying down roads for life to traverse. Some mushrooms smell precisely like fresh bread. Lift the cap of a freshly picked champignon or field mushroom, and you may discern a fragrance startlingly familiar. Warm, yeasty bread straight from the oven. This aroma originates from volatile compounds, also produced by yeasts during fermentation, shared chemistry that connects fungi to baking. For foragers, the scent can serve as a clue for identification, a sensory handshake between species. The smell transcends mere pleasantness. It represents an evolutionary strategy. Aromatic compounds can attract insects or animals, encouraging them to brush against spores and carry them onward. For humans, the connection feels almost uncanny. To inhale the fragrance of bread in the midst of a forest is to experience comfort in an unexpected location, as though the kitchen and the wilderness have momentarily merged. It is a reminder that the boundaries we envision between the cultivated and the natural are often more permeable than they appear. Others smell like cinnamon or anise. Not all mushrooms possess earthy or musty aromas. Some release perfumes that mimic spices from distant kitchens. Anise-scented toadstools exude the sweet, licorice-like fragrance of anise, while certain milk caps smell distinctly of cinnamon. These aromas stem from aromatic compounds identical or similar to those found in the spices themselves. For humans, the discovery feels magical, traversing damp woods only to stumble upon the scent of a spice drawer. But for the fungi, these scents are functional signals to attract insects or repel predators. Their chemistry is survival, even if it registers to us as delight. Mycologists frequently rely on smell as part of identification, bending low to inhale the secret signatures of species. Each aroma is a note in the symphony of the forest, invisible yet unmistakable. A reminder that mushrooms are chemists as much as recyclers, distilling the air into fragrances we carry with us long after. Mushrooms can absorb and store water like sponges. When rain falls, mushrooms swell rapidly, sometimes doubling their weight within a single night. Their tissues are composed of chitin and specialized cells that function as minuscule reservoirs, absorbing water with remarkable efficiency. This capability enables them to fruit suddenly following storms, appearing almost overnight in meadows and forests. However, the water benefits more than just the mushroom. The absorbed moisture can gradually release back into the surrounding soil, creating microhabitats for insects, mosses, and seedlings. In this manner, mushrooms function as living sponges, regulating humidity and supporting life far beyond themselves. For foragers, the waterlogged flesh of certain mushrooms is a familiar indicator of their adaptability. Within ecosystems, it represents survival strategy transformed into generosity. Rain captured, stored, and shared. Each mushroom transcends being merely a fruiting body. It serves as a vessel, carrying the memory of rainfall, gently releasing it into the rhythms of the forest. Some fungi can glow for days without ceasing. Bioluminescent mushrooms function as natural lanterns, emitting a greenish light in the darkness of the forest. Unlike fireflies, which flash briefly, certain fungi glow continuously for days or even weeks. This light stems from a chemical interaction between luciferin and luciferase, the same reaction observed in other luminous organisms. Scientists hypothesize that the glow may attract insects at night, dispersing spores further than the wind could carry them. Envision strolling through a rainforest and observing clusters of mushrooms shining softly beneath ferns, like embers scattered across the ground. The glow is steady, patient, and strangely comforting, a silent reminder that life does not slumber when the sun descends. For centuries, travelers referred to it as foxfire or fairy fire, stories arising from the eerie beauty of glowing logs. Today, we understand the chemistry, but the magic endures. Fungi painting the night with a light that seems to emanate from within the earth itself. Mushrooms have been employed in traditional ceremonies worldwide. For millennia, cultures across the globe have turned to mushrooms in spiritual practices. In Mesoamerica, the Aztecs spoke of Teonanacatl, the flesh of the gods, employed in rituals to bridge the human and divine. In Siberia, shamans consumed Amanita muscaria, the iconic red and white mushroom, seeking visions and altered states of consciousness. Indigenous peoples in Africa, Asia, and the Americas wove mushrooms into healing ceremonies, fertility rites, and initiations, treating them as portals to wisdom. These practices acknowledge something we continue to grapple with today, that mushrooms are liminal beings, existing between life and decay, dark and light, seen and unseen. Even now, mushrooms remain a part of modern spiritual movements and medicine, studied for their potential to alleviate anxiety, depression, and existential fear. Across continents and centuries, they have served as more than mere food or poison, evolving into symbols of mystery and transcendence, guides to worlds within and beyond ourselves. Certain mushrooms can catapult their spores into the air. While most mushrooms rely on wind or rain to disperse spores, some employ extraordinary mechanics. In inky caps and puffballs, pressure builds until spores are released in smoky bursts. Other species, such as Pilobolus, go even further, launching spores with explosive force, shooting them several meters away. The trick lies in building pressure inside microscopic sacs, then releasing it in a split second, sending spores flying like tiny cannonballs. To the human eye, the act is imperceptible, but under microscopes it resembles miniature fireworks. This strategy guarantees that spores escape the shadow of the parent, landing in open ground where they have an opportunity to thrive. The forest, when perceived at the fungal scale, is alive with invisible projectiles, clouds, bursts, and jumps, carrying the next generation forward. What feels like stillness is, in reality, motion, spores leaping constantly into the unseen currents of air. The fastest living movement on Earth belongs to a fungus. Speed records in nature are typically reserved for animals: a cheetah's sprint, a mantis shrimp's punch. However, the fastest known living movement belongs to a fungus. Pilobolus, a minuscule, dung-loving fungus, can launch its spores at speeds exceeding 20 meters per second, with accelerations surpassing that of a bullet exiting a gun. The spores are encased in pressurized capsules that build tension until they rupture, catapulting the payload with astonishing force. For something so small, the distance traveled is monumental, sometimes exceeding 2 meters, 100 times the height of the fungus itself. This ensures that spores land on fresh grass, poised to be ingested by grazing animals and carried onward. To realize that the fastest motion in biology is not a predator's strike but a mushroom spore launch is to witness power in an unexpected place. Fungi demonstrate, yet again, that wonder often conceals itself within the overlooked. Some mushrooms resemble coral or sea creatures. On the forest floor, coral fungi ascend in branching patterns that mirror ocean reefs, displaying pale white or brilliant orange hues. They fork and twist into miniature underwater landscapes transposed onto land. To stumble upon them is to feel as though the sea has spilled into the woods, waveforms fossilized in living form. These resemblances are not coincidental, but the product of these branching patterns are incredibly efficient for growth. This branching structure maximizes the surface area, which allows a greater number of spores to be released into the air. The beautiful result is a work of art. We see fungi that resemble antlers, others that look like coral, and some that even look like flames. Certain varieties are as delicate as lace, while others possess the strength and density of bone. Each one serves as a reminder of how life consistently reuses shapes across various environments. Coral in the ocean and fungi on land are both architects, constructing their forms through repetition, branching out to create beauty. When we observe them, we are witnessing a design language that predates both reefs and forests, a language that repeats itself in quiet harmony across different worlds. Other fungi take on the appearance of tiny umbrellas or parasols. After a rain in damp meadows, clusters of delicate mushrooms emerge, their caps unfurling like miniature umbrellas. Some are translucent, as thin as tissue paper, and they glow softly when the sunlight shines through them from behind. These dainty fungi typically only last for a day or two before they wither away. Their beauty is as fleeting as the morning dew. However, in their brief existence, they capture our imagination. They are parasols for insects, tiny shelters on the forest floor. Their shape is both practical and poetic. The cap serves to protect the spore-bearing gills underneath, while the stalk elevates them into the air currents. Evolution has molded them into iconic symbols of simplicity, instantly recognizable across different cultures as the classic mushroom shape. Children instinctively draw them. Fairy tales often adorn them with spots, and biologists carefully study their mechanics. They are ephemeral, yes, but completely unforgettable. It's a design so elegant that it has become the very symbol of the entire fungal kingdom, rising in miniature form with every rainfall. Fungi could potentially hold the key to carbon capture. One of the most significant challenges we face in this era is removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and fungi may play a crucial role in this process. Mycorrhizal fungi, in particular, form symbiotic relationships with trees, which increases carbon storage underground by channeling sugars from the plants into the deep layers of the soil. Fungi assist in locking carbon away for extended periods, effectively preventing it from re-entering the atmosphere. Certain fungi even produce compounds that resist decay, effectively sequestering carbon in stable forms. Scientists are currently studying how fungal networks could be encouraged to enhance this effect, potentially transforming forests and soils into far more effective carbon sinks. Just imagine climate change being counteracted not only through the use of machines, but also through living systems, invisible threads that weave carbon back into the earth. Within the quiet work of fungi lies a potential ally in our fight against the warming of our planet, proving that solutions may already exist beneath our feet, waiting patiently to be recognized. Mushrooms could potentially help terraform other planets. If humans ever colonize Mars or other planets, fungi may very well be among our most reliable companions. Their inherent resilience makes them excellent candidates for breaking down rock into soil, for producing food, and even for recycling waste in closed environments. Certain fungi are capable of tolerating radiation and low gravity, which makes them extremely useful for constructing life support systems in space. Mycelium could even be used as a construction material, lightweight, strong, and biodegradable structures that are grown instead of manufactured. Scientists are already envisioning fungal biodomes, where habitats are not built but cultivated, expanding like living architecture. This vision is similar to Earth's own history, when fungi played a vital role in preparing the land for plants hundreds of millions of years ago. They were pioneers then, and they could very well be pioneers again, carrying their ancient skills into completely alien landscapes. If humanity ever ventures beyond Earth, we may not go alone. Fungi may weave the very foundations of our new worlds, just as they did on this one. Without fungi, life on Earth as we know it simply wouldn't be possible. If you were to strip fungi from the planet, life would collapse. Forests would be overwhelmed by their own fallen leaves and branches. Nutrients would disappear from the soils, and the essential cycles of decay and renewal would come to a grinding halt. Without fungal partnerships, the majority of plants would not be able to absorb enough nutrients to survive. And without plants, animals, including humans, would have no source of food. Even the oxygen we breathe owes a portion of its balance to fungi, which sustain ecosystems that produce and recycle it. Fungi are the recyclers, the partners, the healers, the quiet engineers of Earth. Their work is often unseen, yet their absence would be absolutely catastrophic. Every single meal we eat, every breath we take, every green landscape we see exists because fungi are there, diligently balancing the system. To truly understand this is to recognize that mushrooms are not simply side characters in the grand story of life. They are the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without them, the stage would be empty, and the play of life could never even begin. And so we gently drift towards the conclusion of our quiet journey through the fascinating kingdom of mushrooms. From glowing lanterns illuminating the forest night, to spores being carried by invisible winds above the city, to fungal networks that predate even the most ancient forests, we have wandered through a world that is simultaneously hidden and essential, fragile and indestructible. Mushrooms remind us that life isn't always loud or easily visible. Much of the crucial work on this planet is carried out in silence beneath our feet, in threads so fine that they can slip through the pores of stone. Fungi teach us the valuable lessons of patience, resilience, and transformation. They recycle death into life, store water for those that are thirsty, nourish giants and insects alike, and even communicate with plants through complex underground networks. Without them, there would be no bread rising in our ovens, no forests reaching towards the sky, no balance in the endless cycles of Earth. As you allow these thoughts to settle in your mind, picture the slow, steady pulse of the mycelium beneath you, a heartbeat of the soil that is both steady and calm. Imagine spores drifting like stardust, carrying potential into every corner of the air. Picture the soft glow of mushrooms in the dark, quiet beacons reminding you that even in shadow, life continues to shine brightly. This is the comfort of science told slowly, that the world is far stranger, richer, and more interconnected than we could ever fully comprehend, and that by pausing to notice, we can glimpse the extraordinary within the ordinary. If you've enjoyed this journey with us, and you'd like to explore more worlds filled with curiosity and wonder, We'd really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. It helps our little community of dreamers and science lovers to continue to grow. But for now, there's absolutely nothing more that you need to do. You can allow the story of mushrooms to slowly fade like the last light of day, leaving only a sense of calmness behind. If sleep comes, allow it to carry you gently into the night. If you are still awake, you are welcome to stay, to listen again, or to let the next video continue your voyage into the quiet wonders of the universe. Rest well and remember that the world is full of hidden marvels. Sometimes they rise overnight, like mushrooms after a rain. Sometimes they have been waiting for you all along, just beneath the surface. Good night.